So, looking around, it looks like we do have a humanitarian agitator, which I'm more than happy to invite for you. It's 8 more months till we can grant you a leadership position of the intelligentsia. That will help a fair bit as we try and make the final step towards multiculturalism. I might make an intermediary step. As a nation, we are getting wealthy enough where the private services, honestly, we're well past that, I think, at this point. Although we do lose the assimilation buff of public schools, that's pretty minor these days. You know, it's nice to have, but, hell, we've almost managed to turn the French Low Countries Flemish. Well, maybe someday there won't be a Congo plurality here anymore, but it's we've gotten a lot of immigrants. And if we switch on to multiculturalism eventually, that kind of stops mattering if we assimilate them. Alright. But yeah, we got work to do. And I have a company, and I still have yet to figure out what I actually want to put in that company. You know? Apparently, I only have 14 paper mills in my entire country. In some ways, that just shocks me massively. I'm going to establish Friesland Premium Oil. You know? Industry rights. Okay, you can do coal mines theoretically as well. We are in use of all of our company charters. Is that because we have a 9 company? Yeah, and every company has a charter. Why, yes, I would like the Radicals Party to get votes. But yeah, we'll see what we can do with this. We do have, you know, across the Empire as a whole, a fair bit of oil. And the Empire is, although definitely going to break apart soonish, it's still holding together for now. So, there's a lot of natural gas rigs. Here. Oil might be the tricky part to get. I wouldn't mind... Oh yeah, we also have hydraulic fracking, of course. Yes, we should definitely be doing that. Alright. Well, unfortunately now everything's a little bit messed up. We have all the Chinese treaty ports, and Lord knows what's going on with them. A lot of them are just kind of dying, I think, because they don't necessarily seem to have market access while inside the Heavenly Kingdom uprising. Okay. Japan is attempting to intervene and conquer a portion of the Heavenly Kingdom. Sure. You do that, Japan. There's 25 popularity would be good. But, bury them in a sea of paper. Let me free that fifth treaty port. Yeah. I'm not sure I necessarily like Izo getting liberated, but I'm also not sure I'm willing to commit to fighting that war, you know? I'm gonna be real here, that does not seem like it's in my interests. You know? Alright. Just start on them. Alright. Radical Party's heading towards 87%. Yeah. So, we can definitely make a move on to private health insurance, which, like, currently public health insurance provides minus 25% mortality hard. The problem is this will give the petit bourgeois 50% political strength, which is fucking wild. Goddamn. Private schools, whenever the industrialists stop being specifically radicals, would probably also help. As but yeah. The Heavenly Kingdom is just kind of going to get overrun, I figure. The Han National Movement. Yeah, I'm not too shocked about that. By any chance, does this mean you guys are willing to fight and help a little bit? Kinda looks like it. 13 weeks till we can grant you leadership. I was kind of hoping some time for the petit bourgeois to chill a little bit. Because here's the thing now. If we can wait it out, multiculturalism's only -5 to them. You know, we can get the intelligentsia to approve of it. And, like, that's the majority of the stall chance. You know? If we can just wait it out long enough. It looks like we should be able to. Which is actually kind of why I'm thinking maybe I want to do public health insurance. The petit bourgeois, however, do not actually like that, which is annoying. Unfortunately, everyone else is radical. Yeah, 6-1. But yeah, if we can just wait it out a bit here. Or I could otherwise influence the appeasement of the lobbies here. Yeah, the Anti-French Society. Unfortunately, I already have a rivalry and embargo that's literally not going anywhere. I could try and improve relations with the British. That tends to help sometimes. Greek from the Ionian Islands. Yeah. What few there are. Alright. We're gonna try and get what we can built here. Alright. Personal computer's coming along good. We've actually almost finished production, which is pretty wild. Because, yeah, the tree just kind of collapses into a point at the end, sort of, so. Yeah, that's all the tier 8 done. And we actually only have 5 tier 9 techs. And 6 tier 10 techs. Currently, it's just we can finish out production technology in 7 years. Or, well, or no, hold on. Predicted to finish in 3,330 weeks. 23,000 days. Okay. That feels like something. Didn't really do math very well there. But I'll take it. Ah, good. The aquafarm systems. So, I think I have... Or is it a rural building? Water. Yeah, water plants. Yeah, we can do advanced water filtration. These I haven't updated in a while, so let's get those updated, shall we? Good. Yeah, you should also be on fracking. Good stuff. So yeah, satellite communication network will require space assets, which I don't think we actually produce yet, which is unfortunate. Yeah, there's like 15 demand of it. Unfortunately, as usual, it's kind of difficult for us to pull off some stuff. All right. Escape deadlock. You guys withdrew from the declaration of Kagoshima. Ah, yes, we lost our investment rights in Japan. Well, let's have a chat, shall we? Some sort of alliance, perhaps? A defensive pact? Yeah. Why? Why do you hate us? Cautious. Yeah, I mean, honestly, the Japanese are pretty strong, so that's okay. Yeah, that's fine. Reprimand the general and reject the plan. On that note, intelligentsia, armed forces, okay. I just wanted to check through and roughly make sure we didn't have any petit bourgeois people. Are we at war? I don't believe so. It appears we are slightly involved in some Nicaraguan civil war. But that's really about it. Yeah, we have the colonies for now. Unfortunately, I have some infamy, which is cooking up, but as that goes down over time, it'll get fixed. Things are fine right now. Managed to pay off most of my debt as well, which is helpful. 614, yeah, we've got fund lobbies in everyone. So how is that helping? Is it helping? Yeah, some of these colonies will effectively refuse to remain subjugated. There's not much we can do. Procession of provocations. Yeah, they are getting pretty militant. Good advanced medical imaging. Okay. So let's experience you leadership. There. That puts both of you in sport multiculturalism. So, 1717. Like, it's not great, but it's not terrible either. So the petit bourgeois weak enough to actually be influenced yet? No. The petit bourgeois and the industrialists are, as far as I can tell, simply too powerful to be pressured by movements. So. Oh no, the Han people are addicted to opium. Alright. Let's gain the 5 legitimacy as well. That'll help us actually push through a bit. And can I do increased government wages? It looks like I can. There we are. Trampled underfoot. They were ordered to disperse. Police are not to blame. I'm gonna try and bribe these guys with pretty much as I can right now. Yeah, currently it's just the fascist movement opposing us, so. It looks like we should be able to push multiculturalism through. Is annoying. Yeah. A Croatian voice. Unfortunately. So, I hate this. I hate this event. Oh no, you're a humanitarian as well, apparently. Except, or no, yeah. Because this new character will almost never support multiculturalism. Right? Yeah, he's an authoritarian. So you always have to take that 10%, annoyingly enough. But yeah. Alright. Okay, it looks like those are cooked. It's tough to say though. Oh. Okay, I think Tianjin just has some weird issues. To be fair, there's a lot going on. We'll see. We're trying to improve things. Lost some bureaucracy. Need some more here? Oh, yeah, we do. Let's get some bureaucracy then. Someday, maybe we could even upgrade the local computer networks. That'd be good. Probably won't happen for a while. Need computers and software for that. Which we so rarely have. Alright, let's see what we get. Public address goes awry. You know what, that's fine. Scrap the current draft and try again. That's fine. Okay. Give me a sec. Kitty needs to be let out. Okay. Plus 600k. Alright. Good. The East African Proletarian Revolt. Yeah. Silly East Africa. Alright. Start funding lobbies in you. Yeah, make sure we try and get lobbies everywhere. They're expensive, but they're worth it. They really do help. Ain't. But yeah. Fascist movement. Yeah, 17.5 from number of claims. There isn't really a way to see claims, is there? Maybe if I look at this. Ah, yes. Right, because legally I have some claims here. Ah. Counterculture unlocked. Good. Yeah, we're coming along with society research nicely. Some neo-feminism. Alright. Yeah. Soon. Now, neoliberalism will kind of be the death of I think the working class and all that. Then there's globalization. No, that doesn't affect anything. Okay. We already did get financial deregulation, which has really helped the industrialists come into power very aggressively. So, yeah. The petit bourgeois, we finally managed to contain. And I'm actually pretty happy with that. Ah, yes. Winds of decolonization. Yeah, sure. Get the hell out of Nicaragua. With their support, the bill shall pass. Excellent. Pass some social laws. Sort of. I mean, in general, the industrialists are pretty happy with me as well. Yep. Free. You're pretty much free to go, Trans-Jordan. Take a stand. Alright. 59%. Alright, our odds are looking pretty good now. The odds are looking pretty good. Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at him, and like I said, as we kind of become a richer society, passing things like private schools, once the industrialists get back to approving it in public health care, is actually going to be very good for us. It'll cost our lower and middle strata approximately 2 standard of living, but that's probably fine. Because of the minus 1% mortality per wealth. I'm not 100% concerned about private health insurance. I'm pretty confident we want to go into private schooling at this point. You know? But yeah, more and more of our population is just basically becoming capitalists. And yeah, we are at 5.24%. Capitalist. And given that we have only apparently 7 million unincorporated, alright, it's not bad. Probably closer to 5.5 if we just count our actual sort of pops. Okay, you guys were on wood frame. Interesting. You guys should definitely be on steel frame at the bare minimum. I know you can't do arc welding because, you know, the Chinese don't know what electricity is yet. Bless their hearts, they're trying, but, you know. It's at least getting us a little more. The whole Chinese Labor Corps plan. So why are you guys so incapable of construction currently? Well, I guess that's the thing. All it takes is moderate turmoil. We can't incorporate treaty ports, of course, so... Alright, we actually got a pass. Looking good. Oh yeah, I remember what I was saving it for. Fuck. Okay, I actually need to close my oil company. I doubt it's going to be particularly profitable, but I forgot I was saving that for the Suez Canal, wasn't I? Nah, fuck, you already did real good. Return Syria. Excuse me. Liberate. Yeah, I guess that's a war against India. So apparently we can't liberate anything else from the Ottomans. I mean, I think we liberate Bengal. Oh, Britain. I never thought I'd be fighting side by side along you again. Britain now improving relations. Yeah. Weird how that happens, huh? Alright. Natural gas, which is very handy. Ugh, lucky. Yeah. Unfortunately, our premium oil only has oil. If you couldn't guess. Let's see. Globalization will get us another company. Ooh, we're about to get hybrid vehicles. Now, hybrid vehicles might be a bit of a problem. I'm going to say, because I think they require fuel cells, right? No, they don't. Shockingly. Okay. Wind turbines, still need batteries. Still need batteries. The last days have been a hell of negotiations. The Ottoman Empire has requested the intervention of the United Nations to help diplomatic play and address the grievances. Yeah. Alright. You know this is a video game because the UN worked. Uh, they're actually happy enough. I'll grant permission. Let's try and rush this through a little quicker. Alright. So I'm also thinking that we should maybe consider granting women rights finally. It's a little late, but we've also kind of hit the minimum birth rate. You know, I'm pretty sure we can't go below 1%. So at this point, you know, as I get my mortality down a little bit lower, just increasing my workforce ratio will both increase my productivity and my demand, you know. In short, just massively growing our economy. Oh no, a television shortage. Let me see. Because I think I did get an electrics industry over here. You're doing radios. You're also doing radios. How are we on radios? Not well. Okay. Apparently still produces... Oh yeah, we can also do bakelite telephones. Oh yeah, we also have advanced highway. We should do that. How are you still producing some radio? They must have changed it a little bit. Of course, yeah, we have a shortage of telecommunications. We're officially a billionaire country now. Yeah. Get another, like, 9 of these. Alright. Minus 2% mortality. Your fucking population skyrockets. Wow. Note to self, win the opium wars, the Shing. What's China's pop right now? 500 million. To be fair, I'm kind of curious just to see how quickly our rich people will turn into liches under private healthcare. If I manage to pass that. Yeah, I mean, with multiculturalism, I think it's going to be fine. Of course, acquiesce. The bill must pass. Winds of decolonization. Of course, Cree. Get the hell out. Alright, our infamy has pretty aggressively ticked down. And it looks like everything here should stabilize. Almost GP, yeah. No, I think it's China giving investment rights is pretty good strategy. Alright. So, like, how much? It still is not going to be enough. Fair enough. We'll get there soon. On the plus side, a lot of the construction sectors are built. Hybrid vehicles. So I'm going to double check here. But I think our auto plants just got cracked. Just want to confirm that they do not require fuel cells for this yet. There's smart vehicles. Yeah, they'll start requiring processors, but that's fine. Yep. Slightly better than per capita? Jesus Christ. You have too many peasants, sir. Goddamn. Alright. On the plus side, it looks like we are going to actually get multiculturalism. Alright, and a successful debate. We are at 79%. We have a 2% advance. 17% stall. Oh, hey. Satellites. But yeah, with multiculturalism, we should see a rather massive uptick in pops just moving here. Alright. Yeah. We've done it. We expanded Flemish. Yid. Lucca is still hanging out there. Basically a Russian treaty port. Alright. Yeah, standard living 24, 24, 26, 26. Like, we're still solid 6 points above most of Europe. The British Islands have been settled by Berbers? Probably. Yeah, Amazigh, Maghrebi. Yeah, all the people from Morocco moving. Alright, we got a progress to voting. Odds are very favorable. Yeah, we're almost there. Still increasing? Oh yeah, we have plus 20 from... Ah, yes. There are... I see the British and Italy support independence. Yeah. It looks like the great powers of Europe are not too keen on me maintaining my empire. Kind of expected. Alright. But yeah, the extra construction is proving to be very beneficial. Alright, we've now successfully gotten it. Yeah, deeming shore permanently, thank you. Just what I needed. Another 25% migration. Ah. Of course it would be you. We're just eating you from politics. You will likely die with your party. It's always some shit in India. Sumatra, yeah. Literally now it's just mass migration by mass migration. Oh. Our president is dead. And we get someone new. He's a protectionist. And importantly, will support private schools. Alright. We don't really assimilate anyone anymore, so, you know, public schooling's kind of useless. But suddenly our population's about to take off. You can see that little uptick. We'll see just how long they can last. All right. Let's move. Once again, we'll join for liberation of Bengal. Britain and I both find ourselves on the same side of trying to contain the Indians, so... What? This isn't legal, right? This isn't legal. We have negative 66 relations, right? They can't. They literally can't offer this to me. But they somehow are. You got her though, Britain. Yeah, let's crack down on them. How do I feel about the Congo? Can I fight it? Even if I do, it's just not worth it. That's the problem. It's really not worth it to fight it. What I need is a treaty port out of them, though. I don't think I can do goods transfers. Could offer them investment rights. I guess I just have to kind of gamble and take this. Okay. Good. So with that, the Congo is granted independence. That said, you guys want to join the power block back? I'm also going to want some investment rights in you. I think I can, like, I know they've been freaking around with a lot of this lately. So I don't know what is and is not possible to actually do for monopolies. They have 10 million GDP. They didn't have 10 million GDP before, did they? Oh. That is not good then, is it? Their GDP, I believe, before this was 155 million. I think their GDP just fell 95%. Upon leaving the market. Yeah, you're fucking cooked without me, aren't you? You asked for this, yeah. Whew. Whew. What even is your economy, Congo? Like, I'm gonna be real here. I'm like, what monopoly? I don't even know what monopolies I should get. Your economy doesn't make any sense to me. You know? I mean, there's definitely coffee and sugar down there. So we'll give that. The Treaty of Yond Station. Good. Alright, so, yep, that repaired their GDP immediately. Remember, kids, Kudai still broke back down. Despite multiple great powers backing them. Yeah, that didn't last long. Britain will just take the infamy for breaking that defense pact and tank our relations back to negative 100, as you do. Anyway, it looks like the best time to maybe get the treaty ports from them is upon letting them go free, because that's when they're going to want everything. Oh yeah, the Russians are coming. Like many others. Are we actually getting enough population to build shit? Not really. We're trying, but it's kind of tough. Alright. Yeah, we're officially in Tier 9 now. Oof. Cell phones for our electrics industries. Yeah. Alright. Henry Dethier has taken the presidency. Alright. I'm curious what just what we'll be able to pick up from these guys, you know? Every now and again you can get like a utilitarian or something, which isn't too bad, but still. Alright, let's restore taxes and wages to normal, by the way. The government is pretty legitimate. In fact, if we just eat you out, we achieve full legitimacy. Good. Alright. That will help. Okay, good. Genetic engineering is coming through. Yeah, we have actual pop growth now, which is nice. So we're not solely reliant on it, but it's not too bad. Ah, yes, Bengali. Alright. Czechoslovakia, I do not care. I can't really access them worth a damn. Alright. I'm kind of debating what I want to do about Germany. I guess I don't need to be super threatened by them these days. Welcome their support. Alright. 117 million, 54 million. Like, we've aggressively urbanized and are hyper-developed in comparison to them. Woo. Alright, looks like we also get GMO crops. So, our farms are now out of this world. You know? They're going to produce even more. And yeah, we have autonomous agricultural vehicles. State doesn't have access to telecommunications, fair enough. For what few rye farms I have, apparently. Yeah. Like, each level of the rye farms and stuff, I think only takes 1,500 now. You guys have, yeah, genetic analysis for 15% more throughput. Yeah. 1.5 thousand farmers. That's it. Nice. God, electricity is still killing us. Alright. It hopefully shouldn't be too much longer until we can get to the smart energy grid. We would be happy to pursue this, yes. I hear there is desire for an alliance. That gets our investment rights back in Japan. Alright. Good. Proceed law for faults. Just relax. We've got this winning. Rajput. Alright. Not bad. Anyone remember what I started this stream at? Remember, I'm actually going to go crack my old video. One moment. What did I end the last stream at? Yeah. 104 million in 1958. So yeah, multiculturalism's working. Multiculturalism is working. Alright. Minutes presently at one hour, it's purchasing a less conventional solution. We'll look into it. Dutch Abyssinia. Very well. Their GDP is halved. Is there a reason that joint power blocks unavailable? Yes, we lack. Throw in some military assistance and an obligation. Or I should have made that 25 years. Oops. But we'll just try and keep leverage up on them. I doubt it's going to work, though. Who's left in the Dutch-British League? Fair enough. Honestly, yeah, I'll leave it. Alright. So it looks like Hai Chow is complete as much as it can anyway. Okay. Yeah, that hurt us a little bit for sure. Alright, let's maybe consider a treaty port. How possible is it? Okay, minus 116, minus 74. Okay, so there's definitely a possibility for treaty port with a renegotiation. Yeah, minus 74 is probably the best we're getting. But it's all we need. And adjust forward to 25 years. Good. There. That should do nicely. Where did the treaty port end up? I was gonna say, because this is Basra. I think the treaty port should just be along here, shouldn't it? It seems like it did not see the treaty port to me here. Cheaper methods. Alright. Yeah, weaken the petite bourgeois a little more, why don't we? Alright. But yeah, under private schools, literacy rates should end up pretty darn high. It's under Iraq. No, this is Basra. This is Kuwait. This is explicitly not. Yeah. Good thought, but no. So it should be somewhere from here to here, but it's not. Pretty obviously. So. Yeah. No, I was very careful to check that, but yeah, I don't know what happened to my supposed treaty port. Alright, our relations are chilling with India a little bit at least. No, no longer aggressively hateful. Love to see it. Highway struggling with getting enough electricity, but whatever, it gives infrastructure. It gives more than enough. That's really what matters. Alright. Oh, pardon me. Software and telecom, yeah. Okay. I thought I requested the construction of 10 telecom towers. Was that seriously just not enough? Yeah, no, it wasn't. Keep building. We're gonna need it. Yeah, alright, so the population of capitalists is falling. Our standard of living is relatively unchanged. Oh, and there goes neoliberalism. Alright. The good news is we don't have too much more building to do, so. Our construction of Iron Treaty Port, it's possible. Yeah, no, as you can see, there's no separate highlighted zone. Domestic. Yeah, hail isn't even on here. By the way, I would just like to grant you Palestine. There you go. A change in leadership. No. Let's not. This guy's fine. He's hated. He's good. He's who we want leading them. Keep them nice and weak. 45,000. Goddamn. Ooh, boy. The number of Russians. Before long, I'm gonna have more Russians than Russia, aren't I? Okay. It's real weird. I don't know why you want that. A guarantee of independence, some military assistance, and I'll toss in 11 grand a week for you. Good. Get ourselves another treaty port. Yeah, we have 13.6 million Russians only. That's not as many. You know, I expect more than that, but fair enough. Fair enough. Hey. No, we have the secret police. Crack down on the petit bourgeois. But yeah, if I make the move to private health insurance, I think that's going to help my population growth a lot. But it will reduce my standard of living by 2.5 points. On the other hand, outside of like Austria, that doesn't really put me below anyone. And I assume Austria manages to maintain a high standard of living through basically just having mass ownership of everything else. And everyone who isn't a capitalist fleeing the country. Yeah, capitalists make up 10% of their country. High definition monitors. Okay. Anti-discrimination. Yeah, we're getting our way through. Ah, yeah, so we have lithium-ion batteries for our battery plants now. If we're lucky. Yeah, also cell phones. Digital printers. Go for it. And that seems bad. For what few there is. We can do rock bands, although apparently that's bad. Alright. Lithium ion. Yeah, we don't have a need for fuel cells yet, as far as I can tell. Petit bourgeois are intelligentsia. that's a funny little trick there. But yeah, no, the petite bourgeois are certainly not intelligentsia, so it's fair. Alright, we'll see what we can get built in Port Arthur now. We are almost complete. Although I'm kind of concerned about this. Although I think that's just tied to an apparent lack of bureaucracy. Which, I'll be real, isn't the most shocking thing. Alright. Yeah, there's not much left to build. Only a few of these, I think, can actually complete. Triggers the event coup de grace. I mean, goddamn, another minus 20%. There shouldn't be anyone left in the fucking petit bourgeois at this point. Yeah. Interest group population attractions minus 80%. Who is still a member? And I'm about to get the event coup de grace, which might just be another minus 20%. Alright. Like, goddamn. Oh yeah, rare earth shortage. Not terribly surprising. May his body rot in jail. Alright. No one should join the petite bourgeois anymore. Why did their population increase by 400,000 this week? How are people joining it? What horrifying hydra is this? Why do you exist again? That's also another question I have. God, what horrors have I unleashed? Alright. So it looks like this is all done. Alright. And there goes that highway. I'm kind of concerned that our GDP has been rather flat, though. Although, if I had to guess, I think that's more just because we aren't really building much in our country right now. Yeah, we actually have some peasants. And hey, you know what that means? Yeah, I was gonna say, you fuckers better be building some goddamn power plants. Alright, change of plans on the tech order. we'll do smart vehicles. That's fine. But then I actually just want to go on the smart energy grid real quick. Like, I want this built now. I am going to build a single renewable energy station here. We have at least a little bit of use for it at this point. But we'll see. I am worried this is actually going to poison my investment pool, though, and they'll build nothing but these. So I really shouldn't. Just keep supplying more power. Because, yeah, do I ever need to? Goddamn. Alright. No, just 30 should be fine. Robotic assembly lines, so chip foundries. God, I mean, we can, are you, well, I don't see a shortage, so that's good. Oh no, we definitely have a shortage. There is not enough rare earths. I'm gonna assume that's because these are no longer considered treaty ports or whatever, right? No, they are. So we should just be able to import it from the Chinese market. Or anywhere else producing enough rare earths. Or is the problem more of a global issue? There is currently not enough rare earth. Yeah, we're just buying as much as we can from the world market. Alright. Well, in that case, time to dig up some rare earth metals. Let's go. Securing the power. A tranquil state. Alright. Although that might take a little while to build. A lot of power plants. So yeah, it's 150 in Namakwa land as well. In practice, I doubt. We can supply enough workers for most of this, but that should be fine. Alright. Yeah, we have 160,000 peasants here. Certainly a demand you could make. Why, I don't know, but sure. Have fun with that, Lebanon. Or, sorry. Apparently. What in the fuck? Liberate Savoy. Liberate Prague. Yeah, about that. God, India is just annexing random shit over here. Do we need to beat you up again, France? Like, what the hell? Another bit to chop off, although Savoy's probably not doing so well. Actually not bad, although it only has 100,000 people in it. And we've managed to shake free there. There's not really much more I want from the French. Unfortunately, the stuff I can just take control of the play, and then I can add whatever I want. You know? Is it in bad taste to have a treaty port right next door? But no. We're here to take 700,000 from them a week for the next 5 years. There we are. Global stock market unlocked. Alright. Wait, fuck, I didn't actually need to click that. Fuck. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought it was going to open a sub-menu again. I'm an idiot. But no, that's fucking way too much. They've got to do something about it. Enforcing investment rights for 5 years is never going to be worth 25 in for me. I'm sorry. It simply won't. Confident. So no, we're just here for 700 grand a week. Pillager. The best ones are always of the petit bourgeois, but seriously, nobody should be considering joining the petit bourgeois. But they, for the most part, seem to refuse to die, so... And somehow the armed forces have returned, which is concerning. Look, I am not touching this one with a 10-foot pole. Alright, they're not making you give up any land, so... You're on your own. Right. Now we do have our full suite of MBTs and everything. Yeah. We're fine. Somehow I doubt the French are going to be able to deal with this anyway. We'll probably get away with at least paratroopers. conquered Dutch Guiana. Yeah, we'll see. I think we're just marching into Paris at this point. Alright. Oria. Just keep the power flowing. Keep the power flowing. Yeah. We need computers. I'm sure we do. Ah, the Radical Party has shattered. Finally. Changing up the political scene a fair bit here. Who we got? Under here. Intelligence and the trade unions for women's suffrage. Yeah, we'll probably just push through women's suffrage as our next. Yeah, get the Liberal Party to get some more votes, ideally. They're going pretty well. Minus 20% will barely work, but we'll do it anyway. Their momentum's 235%. Are relaxing. Although not for much longer, are you? Yeah, here comes transnational activism. That should be, unfortunately for us, the final blow to our empire. Another 0.25, I think, is unsurvivable. Holy shit, our welfare payments are skyrocketing. Right. That isn't the largest shock, actually. A hero for the people. So that only got about 8% of the vote. I see, for whatever reason, we're just taking the long way around. Alright. Yeah, I mean, the French debt are certainly piling up. This is why it's taking us so long. We can really only launch one battle at a time, as the infrastructure level now allows us to effectively put an infinity number of troops in a province. No. Alright. Yeah, this will be the most legitimate government we can make. Alright. I think it's probably fine to give the petit bourgeois a little bit of ground now. With private health insurance. I've been putting most of my efforts towards containing them, but I'd say I've maybe even done too well, so I think we need to change course. Alright. Yeah, Paris ain't falling yet. Just keep taking the casualties. There's only so many provinces you have before we'll eventually land on Paris in our attack. Alright. Invasion of the Isles by Spain. Good stuff. I'm a little bit worried about my spending, though. Yeah, welfare payments are continuing to climb. It's not great that I also seem to still have some tax problems. I wish there was a map mode for tax inefficiency. Is there? Does not look like it, unfortunately. And there we go. That should help. We hope. I mean, in theory as well, education and healthcare should cost us less bureaucracy to maintain now. You know? Look for it. Yeah, it would be nice. Good, we're finally getting Paris. I didn't really want to direct the army. You know, I don't mind killing some extra Frenchmen along the way. But yeah. There we are. France has fallen. Yeah. They're pretty much cooked here. Annex Paris? No. This is after, you know, the World War era. The infamy cost for doing anything anymore is absolutely absurd, so. Yeah. There's not really much I can do. So Abyssinia is staying out of our block, unfortunately, I'm pretty sure. They are just too resisting. Unfortunately, we do have transnational activism now, which, yeah, we have 0.58 from technology in total now. There is functionally no way we can overcome that, you know? Jared Company, even if I get another minus 0.5, I'd have to luck out with the lobbies, which we just didn't necessarily. You know? This one we could almost do. We could almost do. If I had done the Empire, I could have kept South Africa. But alas. That's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna be interested to find out what happens to our, like, mortality rate and our pop growth rate. Yeah, we have lots of people coming in, peasants and everyone else. I am worried about our rising payments on welfare. But that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Alright, so this is... okay. That's the end there. Ooh, we're getting MRI development. That's very good. So that's going to be another giant chunk of mortality gone. But yeah. Unfortunately, the standard of living means that our lower strata will actually probably lose a little bit of their mortality. On the other hand, not that many people actually belong to the lower strata. You know? 80 million, so just slightly over half. Unfortunately, part of that is because we've kind of just opened the doors on mass immigration. And so standard of living has not been doing well lately. And is continuing to fall. And there is just not much we can do about that. I'm trying, for what it's worth. Alright, telecoms is... how much do we need? 3,000. You got it. We'll get some extra just to be sure. But yeah, we gotta keep our development going. Only 100? Because apparently 5 power. Fair enough. Let's build like 10 there and get it started. Okay. Lots of development. No. Congo withdraws from the September Convention. Very well. Well, let's see what we can do about getting investment rights. Or do I still have that with you? Oh, I do. Good. Yeah, for another 19 years. Alright. Yeah. Oh. I think that was private healthcare. Oof. Yeah, big blow there. To standard living, but yeah, our population growth rate is nearly doubled. by reducing the average mortality of our people a lot. Wow, 21. Yeah. The real problem is we do lose some effect of pollution reduction. But as long as our wealth level gets high enough, it shouldn't be that much of a problem. Unfortunately, it seems like our wealth level is literally plummeting a concerning amount. Yeah. Of course. Rare earth mines are still going to have to be built. No sign of them even getting started yet. 13 months of constructing. Yeah, we'll get there eventually. Alright. But yeah, the mass immigration has given me a fair bit of population to work with. Which, while that's helpful, may be a bit of a problem. As we swapped over to the private sector stuff at kind of the same time I switched over to multiculturalism. Unfortunately, of course, the industrialists are far too powerful to ever be pressured. So we'll just see what we get. They're also pretty ambivalent and don't really care about acceptance laws, so there's a solid chance that we can probably still roll back a little bit. Just roll back a little bit, you know? It's going to be a while before we can really process these immigrants. In the last 10 years, we have increased our population by 50%. You know? And that is just continuing to grow. There's very little I can do about it at this point, other than pull back on multiculturalism. Alright. So, let's see. No, I overshot. Where's the damn... Yeah, urban centers. Advanced healthcare for all. Yeah, 0.53. It helps. But yeah, like, we're getting effectively millions of unemployed. Just starting to pile up everywhere. Alright. From wealth, yeah, you got a decent chunk from there. Okay. Yeah. Rolling back onto an oligarchy might not be terrible. Get rid of another minus 10% from ideological incompatibility. And that'll help because we are also on corporate states. We already have the minus 25% there. And I think this will give me a lot more flexibility in my government. Especially with the strange resurgence of the armed forces. Cooperative ownership, yeah. I may also roll over from laissez-faire onto interventionism and start maybe taking a bit more of a direct role. No, probably not. Alright. So with this tier also kind of almost being complete. Machine learning, internet, where's, yeah, so there's globalization right there, which should get us a max number of companies, which I do want, and another 5% to our workforce ratio. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah. The unfortunate truth and reality is that it's probably over for the whole colonial empire. But that's not to say that I can't maybe still get my influence in. There's another treaty port just to make sure. Good. But yeah, our GDP per capita is actually tanking. Again, not really a huge shock. It'd be terrifying at this point for me to like replace something with the increased migration rate because, dear God. All right. Not good enough. No. Town gas apparently might make a comeback. Certainly a thought. 107 still. Getting the optimization is probably worth it. No. Alright. Oh good. We're building rare earth mines all over the colonies. You have an ongoing diplomatic play against Great Britain. I decline. Britain isn't trying to take anything out of you, and I don't know why everyone's trying to beat up by Sock. I think it's because they're a council republic. And nobody likes communists. Yeah, cooperative ownership, that would do it. Yeah. And the population density is a bit much. It is, yeah. Alright. Just gotta keep constructing. Can't be a small communist state in peace. No. No, you cannot. Alright. Well, it's probably time we let you go, eh? I don't know. I should wait for the event. Wait for the event. Does France actually have, like, positive population growth? I guess over here they do. Oh yeah, these are the areas most devastated by the war. Yeah, that would make sense. Yeah, mortality 0.9 a year. So, just hypothetically. Hey, capitalists. What is your mortality rate? Yeah, 0.4. It can't get too much lower than this. Mm-hmm. We have 54 levels of wealth, so... if we can find the particularly opulent ones... Yeah, they have nearly achieved clinical immortality, it seems. Yeah, the executives at the Philips HQ have started to reach approximately a life expectancy of approximately 1,000 years old. So good for them. You know, probably a lot higher. I'm not really sure. 89 deaths a year in a population of over 20,000 probably sounds something more like 10,000 years old. At this point, I am legally a city-state. Yeah. Probably. Alright. Oh. Oh no. So remember how I had a problem with too many people? $1.5555. So, where does that go now? This week? I just received 1 million immigrants this week. Do they go over the border? No, they don't. Yeah, I'm getting about 1 million immigrants a week. So the expected population growth rate for this year is approximately 50%. No, it's close to 33%, but good God. Oh, hey. The Chinese flu. All right, let's see. So, yeah, 14 million Han. And climbing. So, if I wasn't legally a city-state before, I think I am now. Alright. The Kowloon walled city, yeah. No kidding. Yeah, we have 53 million in Holland. Like in total, we can check our incorporated population here. It's 159 million. 160. Dear God. Okay. We'll probably look to cut back on funding some lobbies. That will help a little bit. Okay. I'm gonna lose all this, which is gonna suck, but we need to kill welfare. Well, apparently we have hereditary bureaucrats now. That's also going to hurt like hell. But that's fine. I would have assumed we would have rolled onto appointed. But that's probably fine for now. This is the most legitimate government we can make? Good enough. Okay. So, I think we need to make a change here, guys. Multiculturalism was a step too far. Yeah. Just close the borders. That's actually even harder to do. The industrialists like us having no migration controls. But here's what we can do. Who is Sintang? Like, I'll support you unconditionally. But, yeah. So we need to fix that, and Lord only knows. I need additional government admin. Yeah. Gelre shockingly does not. Wallonia does. More Russians. Alright. But yeah, even just reducing under racial segregation will probably be enough. Racial segregation is a decently happy medium, because it gives plus 10 for each culture, or for like being of a culture, and then you get another plus 15 from total separation. Although, yeah. I'm just thinking. Yeah, state atheism would not, yeah. I'm not rolling back on freedom of conscience or anything, so we'll just keep racial seg. But it will allow for the slow, like, assimilation of everyone. Jesus fucking Christ. Yeah. Alright, well, that helped some of our bureaucracy shortage. That has not helped enough, though. Alright. Yeah, we now have the number 3 population in the world, and importantly, thanks to everything I've done, we've managed to get our... It's distinctly un-Dutch. Alright. That's the thing. My goal at this point is actually kind of going to be to improve the standard of living, which will just now start actually improving the population growth. And then we can kind of move forward on, like, women's rights as well, get some more workforce ratio. That will also help improve our standard of living a lot. Yeah. Their literacy is just fucking diving. Like, goddamn. So, like I said, we need to get a handle on things here. Alright. Especially as our welfare state effectively is collapsing under this, which is not great. You know? Kerosene. Alright. Advanced ports. Okay, we're going to cut power plant subsidies. I don't think they need them. Yeah, welfare payments have reached 5 million. We need to get our ass down to level 1 Social Security as quick as possible. You're what? Hold on, I thought integral... People keep telling me integralist is locked to, like, Central and South America. Every now and again, though, I do just see one appear somewhere else. Green still must pass. Mexico declared rivalry. Really, Mexico? He's Dutch and Protestant, so no, he didn't migrate. How do you even? I guess the answer is you just don't have very much GDP, that's how. You just be poor. Shockingly, they don't want Texas back. Alright. So yes, merge good. I think I'm actually going to cut these last three and instead make a dive for globalization to get my company slot. With the completion of smart energy grid management, I'm going to say that renewables are finally worthwhile. You know? Because, yeah, like minus 1,600 workers. And there are... So that will leave us with 200 machinists, 450 workers in each solar panel. 4 million unemployed, yes. Yes. Actually 9 million, and climbing. There is a reason I am currently trying to pass racial segregation. You know? It turns out that multiculturalism might have been a bridge too far, you know? Like, I just want to point out here in the last, like, couple of years, we have exploded again and grown over a third of our population in, like, 2 to 3 years. To be fair, I mean, this is just the average Canadian mindset and experience at this point. Hey, what if we just accept all immigrants? Oh god, why is housing so expensive and our standard of living is collapsing? Quick, quick, close the gates! Number 3, like we've done pretty well. Reverse colonization, just about. As you can see, it's pretty rough. The Han in general only started arriving in 1968, so you can pretty much see what happened here. Okay, Social Security institution down to level 2. That's good. That helps. Oh god, does that help? That helps, right? Yes, that saves us 2 million. Yeah, we're slashing welfare as quickly as we can before it sinks the government. What's the Han culture global turmoil? Good question. %. To be fair, a lot fled China, so that would be probably why. They hit 20% and then, yeah. I mean, at this point in general, the populations of European nations are not doing well at all, so... You know, maintaining a positive birth rate is difficult. I'm sorry, Algeria is mine? Yeah, Dutch Niger took it over. But yeah, they're free to go. You want to come back into the power block? Of course you do. So, on that note, I want a treaty port. In return, a guarantee of independence. But yeah, we're continuing to receive large amounts of migrants. They're just kind of pouring in from everywhere. I'm going to assume that a lot of that negative population growth is... Well, actually, let's just have a look. Hey, how you guys doing and what's up? Dangerous working conditions. Oh, right, the flu. Look, I'm gonna be real here. No. Right, yeah. Awkward in the execution of the high amount of Boer states tend to leave behind. Yeah. I think there's that other mod that you like, Dusty, as well. The CVLM or whatever it's abbreviated to. That makes colonies super in-depth. Yeah, sure. Fetch the calipers. Let's go. I don't care. Get this fucking law passed. I'm wondering if that would help. You think? All right. Elections are out of law, or the people don't need it. I mean, people don't really need it. That's the thing. The elections weren't really doing anything, and weren't particularly helpful either in allowing us to change much, so... Yeah, we do need to get off hereditary bureaucrats, though. 49,000 from fucking 6 institutions. If anything, the only reason for elections would be to allow elected bureaucrats, but... 30 weeks until we're down to Social Security 1. Alright, our renewable plant will be up and running in a little bit. 7 weeks to Smart Energy Grid. So water is apparently becoming a bit of a problem. Let's also look into perhaps a desalination plant. We'll see. There we are. Okay. God, apparently I need 1,000 fucking software. Alright, let's build Dutch Microsoft. How much software do you produce? 50 per. And we don't even have software dev paradigms because we're super far behind on society tech. And it'll be a little while before I actually do get that, but we'll try. Alright. Alright, 10% more throughput for our power plants. That helps a little bit. Really shouldn't be subsidizing the airport. Gonna be real here. The airport will need to stand on its own. Even if it is nice to get a little bit of bump to standard of living. I'm not really gonna do too much to this about the Chinese plague. Letting it kind of spread through us is, I think, probably fine. If not slightly helpful. You know? To alleviate the problems we're having as we try and catch up our economy to our population. Improve relations with them. There. Ooh, we unlocked astronautics. We can also now build the spaceport. It's really just, you know, prestige and production research speed, but who cares? Yeah, renewables unfortunately take forever to build. But we'll see just how profitable they end up being. The problem is always going to be issues with like rare earth metals and stuff, so. This requires nothing but batteries. Yeah, this actually requires fuel cells. So there might be a significant issue before we can really start using that. No, that's not. Sorry, battery plant here. Like, this would produce us 7,000 fuel cells. Which, that's a damn lot of fuel cells. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see. 2 weeks. Oh, thank goodness. All right. So the chip foundries. It's been a little bit since I minged, since I've done some research for them, and I think we might be okay to slip over to the next tier on those now. I know I originally looked at them and it's like, yeah, we just can't right now, but our demands are starting to increase for rare earths. It's still not great. We can get at least basic computer production at the chip foundry. Oh, multi-core processors now good. Okay. There we go. All right, chip foundries are good to go. You guys get onto CNC machines? Screw it, just do it. Mm-hmm. Synthetic pharmaceuticals, good. Can you get yeah, microelectronics? Good. Full-on spacecraft. All right. So, we can swap over to cinema and do blockbuster films. There we go. That'll help entertainment. Yeah. Global outsourcing hub. Internet. All right. So, yeah, 143 productivity. Even with its current needs. Like, it's very productive. You know? Like, if we just do the math here. This produces about 0.125 power per person, right? This is producing about, although it's hard to say, and this is without any throughput so far, so if we get, say, 60 of these, it should scale up pretty ridiculously. Because it's already at 1.25 before any scaled throughput bonus. So, and it shows, it's good. The proof of concept is there. Decline. Yeah. First transporter. So, let's see about getting a treaty port in you. Negative 137 can pretty easily be overcome, I would like to think. There. And we get Aquaba. Nice. Yeah, we have a treaty port touching us again. Nice. Always good to see. So let's build a highway here. This is acceptable. Mostania's probably scared of France. Alright. 10 million people. Alright. So yeah, we'll see just how well the renewable energy plants start to scale. Yeah, this is going to be the problem. There is just not enough rare earth. You know? We're trying to... we've got our mines placed out here, but unfortunately, a lot of people are just not able to produce any. There's not enough workers for the mines. I think in one of my treaty ports, I may have... Because did I manage to collect any Treaty ports with a rare earth mine? No. Damn. So we're SOL. Alright, I'm going to take a quick bio break. BRB. Okay. So, I think it's about time I ungimp my food industry. Oh, yeah, we can also do smart vehicles. I have no idea what half that's set to. Ultra-processed snacks. I'm hopeful that will help there. The slight increase in mortality is less of a concern for me right now. Yeah, like, a lot of our population's standard of living is high enough where plus 4% mortality is pretty irrelevant. Yeah. Jesus, their birth rate. Overpopulated, unemployment. Yeah. I am kind of concerned that the Han national movement may in fact be able to start taking these provinces with them. No, not quite yet, thankfully. But yeah, do have to watch out for that. Alright. But yeah, no, our literacy needs to catch up. A lot of things just kind of need to catch up now. We are so far behind. Developmentally now. Import tons of natural gas, aluminum. If we're importing lots of aluminum, is it the right call to just switch over my ally plants? Like, probably? Alright. Yeah, we'll do electro-refining process. Nanotransistor, yeah, that's going to require way more rare earths than we currently have, as usual. Yeah, sure. Some Chinese guy can assume control of the landowners. Like, would they... Like, I care with them. Alright. So I think we discard the armed forces. They're starting to decay. And hopefully should once again fade quietly into the night. Although, unfortunately, I'm going to go with statistically probably not. Let's get our fleet upgraded. Hey. Alright, I have great news. Well, as expected, the private sector has become semi-poisoned. And unfortunately, will now likely build nothing but these, probably everywhere. but it's fine. They're pretty decent as long as I can maintain enough rare earths. At this point, of course, the problem is still just going to continue to be getting enough rare earths. The vast majority of which do come from China still, because they have the provinces out here in Yunnan that actually produce them and actually have people that can work them. I think, unfortunately, even my Congo mine here can't do a whole lot. As far as production tech goes, yeah, so there's rare earth. Like, that tells me they probably have not actually reached, like, tier 6 here, which is not great. Because one would assume otherwise that they would upgrade these production methods. I know China's only at, like, tier 4, so... Another source of them can be America. Of course, getting a hold of that can be pretty tricky. Hey, Russia. Are you willing to give me any form of investment rights right now? No, because you're antagonistic. Hey, man. Relax. How are you still a great power? Just a combination of your GDP, Army, and Navy. Fair enough. So I've been seriously considering, like, trying to retire a company. Like, Dutch Foods is the weakest, which is one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to give it a bump to see if it could pick up. I mean, these guys can only maintain 18 productivity. Like, at the bare minimum, I think I revoke your cotton charter. And instead grant Friesland the ability to do coal mines, because I think they can... That's unique right now, maybe? Yeah. No one else can do coal mines right now, so that should help. I'm sorry. Did something happen that I wasn't paying attention about? Yeah, unfortunately with this whole diplomatic treaty system, I actually have to pay attention to whatever the hell's going on in, you know, the rest of the world. Okay, the answer is you're under attack. That's what I need to pay attention to. Very well. Yep. German Empire sides the Occitania. Is this what we're doing today? Is this what we're doing today? All right. Okay, so everyone remember the UN exists. I'm really hoping we can come to a diplomatic solution to this. On toward Germany. Germany is one of the few nations that actually might be able to make the right choice in attacking me. And that's one of the reasons why I'm always a little bit cautious with them. Alright, we need 3,500 planes. Where in the frig are my war machine factories? I need to spool them up. Right here, aircraft industries. That's currently 748, which is not great. Yeah, there we are. Okay, that should reduce the problem a little bit. Should hopefully only be like light supply issues, I wager. Yeah, as much as I wanted to do supersonic casts, it's just not something that's going to be feasible. 5 airplanes per unit is a lot. Like, investment rights. The problem is, it's like, oh yes, thank you for informing me about this. Death to secessionists. We're not in the business of murdering our citizens. We just gotta relax. Just gotta relax. Dutch East Africa. Yeah, that's fine. Greetings there. I assume you're going to want to join our power block back and everything. All these military assistance packs are probably sinking me. So I should probably be careful. To Mozambique. Here. A token amount. No. A new power block formed by Oceania, who has ascended to great power status. Yeah, the Germans, you see. They are capable of fighting back and attacking, which is a little bit of a problem. On the other hand, let's bring our boys home. You know? I don't even know where I collected you. It doesn't matter. Let's slam a blockade on the Germans. I think that should probably be fine. Oof, our morale is not able to hold. Dang. There's nothing on us, so like legally I'm not really I'm okay if, you know, I have to take a bow here, but it's gonna be millions dead. I am taking massive casualties out there. Alright, so this is kind of what I was afraid of. Our private sector has now been functionally poisoned, and I think can only build renewable energy power plants. For the most part. This is its entire function now. And I've kind of noticed this happen before, and it's not great when that happens. It's really not. Alright, so the blockade levels are going to start increasing quickly. With any luck, we should just kind of win through economic victory. The Germans kicking the door down. Yeah. So Britain. Allies. Good. Well, Torpedo is always the wrong choice. Yeah, that's fair. Alright, I can try and improve our morale recovery another 20%. Oh good, the pandemic's over. And if push comes to shove, and I think push is coming to shove here, we roll out the guided missiles. I think we can afford that at this point. It looks like we can't quite, but that's actually not too bad. That's a very low number compared to what I was expecting. If we're only short 1,200, then we'll have no problem. There we are. Yeah. Should be able to cap that into the world market, and that should give us a little bit of an extra bump. Just every little bit helps. Comparatively, the Germans being under the incredibly heavy blockade that they are, I think will cause them some problems. Yeah. Right, they just lost fucking 8% of their GDP that week. Yeah. Blockades hurt, Germany. Blockades fucking hurt. Okay, so I actually have globalization, so I can establish our 10th company. Where is the Suez Canal Company? Why is it not available? Why is it every goddamn time I want it to be? Like, what happened? Why is this not available? This should have been paying more. You know what? Let's try raising the pay of them. Maybe that'll attract them. What is gained in this war? Nothing. Nothing is being gained in this war. This is Occitania wanting a fucking colony in Africa. Kill any government admins? Yeah, we already have. Like... In order to direct Pop's workforce, weak balance should be improved. I don't know. We are buying enough rare earths, so that's good. Alright, we were actually forced to capitulate. That's not a huge shock. On the other hand, Germany lost a good chunk of their economy from that. And I imagine are now probably suffering some radicalism issues. Yeah. Like, there is a 64% turmoil here. Algerian decolonization. I guess I'm not allowed to maintain that treaty port very well. Abyssinia formed a power block, fair enough. Hmm. How long can a parts paper truly last? To provide military assistance. This is not in our interests. But yeah, there's literally 22,000 unemployed people here. I would assume that some of them might actually be able to work in this canal, but apparently not. Not on multiculturalism? Maybe, yeah. Well, no. I wasn't on multiculturalism last time I looked, I don't think, anyway. Yeah, we still need more software, do we? Well, ideally at some point we're gonna finish developing better software production methods. That might help. National language, it's fine. Yeah, the German economy managed to bounce back a little bit. Alright. So, on that note, software industry. You get IDE. Huzzah! They may yet survive. So we do have a space assets industry. Like, I'm gonna get a couple more levels. Because I wouldn't mind trying to make the switch over to satellite comm networks. Because we do need more telecommunications. Internet global networking. Which, yeah, that'll also need software. Jeez. We're working towards it. Slow but steady. But I really would like to get Suez Canal Company. Well, I'll try again. I'm gonna watch and get its exact reason for failure. Oh, you need cultural exclusion for government buildings. That's right. You're right about that, aren't you? Maybe. That might be the trick. Disallows upper and middle strata work in government buildings for the violent hostility status. Disallows upper and middle strata work in government buildings for the cultural erasure status. There we go. And you guys were all on cultural erasure, so... enforce investment rights in India is yes. And I only take one infamy for it because it gets offered to me, so... Oh no, because apparently it's in Cambodia. Well, this isn't exactly what I wanted. Kinda bait and switch there, game. Sure. Britain, you're my ally, get in here. Japan, you're my ally, get in here. Liberate Bengal. I made primary, so they can't back down out of it this time. Yeah. New plan. You guys, I think, land... Oh no, Macron's no longer a landing spot. Very well. Proceed. I'm going to work on getting us a bit of military access here. Has strategic adjacency to us. Fair enough, I suppose. Yeah, you won't do that. Zarek. There's the Persians again. Yeah. Landing in India is going to be the hard part more than anything else. Denmark. Sure. That's what I need. Let's go. The Danes give us a nice little landing zone we can use. We're a little hit, but by our excessive needs of both planes and everything and missiles. All right. Pretty bourgeois seem to have bounced back nicely. Alright. Well, racial seg is fine. I should have stayed to cultural exclusion. Oh well. Yeah, the Indian army isn't exactly in tip-top shape here. They do have pretty much every unit type under the sun. But yeah, we're just gonna have to march. Where is India? Oh yeah. Okay, so India's capital's in Delhi. It just isn't showing the star. Fair enough. But yeah. Ah, a Russo-Chinese war, I see. Let there be blood. So much blood. Wow. Liberate Siberia. Liberate Minima. Transfer Luca. Good God. The imperialism's a bit much, guys. Yeah. It is weird because all of these are technically lower strata. And so I'm wondering why they're not allowed to work here with racial sag. I think it's probably the clerks. Because memory serves, clerks used to be middle strata, right? But they moved them to the lower strata. I have a bit of a theory here that didn't go quite as well as it needed to, you know? And they may have missed something. God, our standard of living has just been tanking. It hasn't even helped. Like, we're still just getting so much migration. And let's leave the anti-Russian League. Alright. Yeah. So that gets rid of the anti-Russian League. That's probably for the best. Alright. We got operating systems. That should help our software production a little bit. We also have electric vehicles now. Good. Let us go to cloud computing. Okay. So for our growing software industry, digital data on-prem, or So basically this is locked behind internet. Very well. So yeah, unfortunately for the most part, well, I don't know what to really make of our private sector these days. I think it's probably fine, but God, these take so long to build. On the other hand, with their plus 60% throughput, they are producing over 2 electricity per person, or 0.2 electricity per person, rather, which is pretty solid. Hard to complain. Of course, the mass consumption of resources from it is a whole other issue. Looks like it's kind of working. I think it's just kind of getting filled up because they do take forever to build. Right. So, already at 1 million dead. Nice. 2 million odd more wounded. They've managed to restore their GDP. Top growth, That'll be heard. Okay, we're on the front line, right? Yeah. Just wanted to make sure. Look, it's hard to find my troops. Alright. Our GDP is starting to recover. We still have 5 million unemployed people here in the capital. Okay. $325. Alright, this is, I mean, good enough. Yeah, we're gonna need more software and all that, but this building has nearly 300 productivity. We will never run out of infrastructure at this point, so we're good. I'm just going to build a whole whack load of that. How are we doing here? Yeah, million dead Indians. God. I'm thinking it might be worth my time to carve up China a little bit. Like if I separate out a couple of cliques from them, I think that might benefit me a fair bit. But the problem is that I lose access to buying rare materials from Sichuan. Rare earths. Although the problem is they aren't really developing that worth a damn, so I guess that's the question. They have a lot of potential everywhere over there. My God. China only has 200,000 peasants and only 15 million unemployed. The Chinese economy is approaching full development. Yeah, fair enough. Alright. So, smartphones is less productive. HD TVs is more productive, but that's more of an issue with telecommunications, I think. I definitely need more of those. Good. Trying to get basic space assets going. Gotta keep building. Alright, so Delhi has fallen. Nice. Cambodia. Yeah. That's a bit of a problem. You guys might actually just fight it out to a white peace, huh? Or maybe not. You're pretty close to conquering Drzinga, and I think that's the last goal they actually need. So. But peace acceptance is getting a little low there, so. Or a little high, I guess. There. So we'll see. They've already had 2 million die, and Lord knows another 3 million wounded. So, I guess at this point, gods are all terrible. Invade Cambodia, go. Before we have to put all of India to the goddamn sword. Because I think that's basically what's going to happen if this war keeps going. Yep. They're lucky I've got missiles on. Because otherwise... Oh boy. Could really put India to the sword. Sure. Keep investing. It's kind of awkward here. We need the intelligentsia in the government. At this point. And also, probably, I guess, you. You're loyal, so you're not really going to oppose this change. But yeah, I need to get on to cultural exclusion. Everyone's just worse and worse. No, well. Alright. Just keep on working. Gotta build this massive petrochemical industry, which barely employs anyone. Like, minus 1,500, minus 2,500. And there's only, oh my god, there is only 3,100 employees. We'll look into it. So yeah, this barely employs anyone. So you guys go all the way to full EVs. Go down there. What does your workforce look like for 86 buildings? Still 215,000. There's still some shopkeepers and all that. Yeah. 3D engine middleware, sure. Nice. Opera houses need rock bands active. Makes them less productive. But I think it's probably fine, especially since we gain access then to modern dance. Which is another 5% throughput, so. Okay. Let's also scale up our oil refinery. Yeah, suddenly this is now 250. God, you only require 65,000 people as well now. Our ability to automate is getting pretty dramatic. Ah, yes. The data center. Right. Well, we've almost gotten through there. Military tech is actually done. No one's bothering to research smart TVs. We're kind of hitting the end of the tech tree here. Yeah, Russia won that. So, after India lost 2.5 million people or so, let's let them go home. Yeah. We'll just carve Bengal out. You know, that's 70 million odd people. Their GDP is functionally non-existent, but hey. Alright. Yeah, if we can get a lot of people working in these kinds of buildings, in particular, it's going to be pretty wild. Because, oof, there's just not many people. 115,000. Yeah. Like, there's just no competing on a per-person basis with, like, the petrochem industry for GDP output, is there? oil refinery. Even the electric industry still requires a hell of a lot. Alright. It looks like I can just maybe let's see, chip foundries. Okay, chip foundry upgrades are good. There was another one I missed. It's fine. Make sure all the automotives upgrade. Oh yeah. Get you guys on HD TVs. Good. Yeah, our GDP isn't doing so hot right now. Yeah, rare earths. They are hard to get. Like, at some point, you guys have got to get anything to help, right? I feel like the AI maybe just doesn't know how to use the rare earth building. That is, the thing I can kind of think, because I think Japan has some rare earth somewhere, they should be capable of exploiting them. Okay, they are. So yeah, the others literally are just not technologically advanced enough. They are just literally technologically inadvanced and cannot. Jesus, that's brutal. Oh well. We have 200 million people in the Netherlands alone. I mean, it's 1976, and I think we're probably about ready to wrap up this campaign. As I said, we've kind of actually reached the end of the tech tree. And outside of the mass unemployment, partially I think just created by the fact that I keep building like these buildings that don't actually require workers. Yes, just keep producing more. How many employees do the chip foundries require? Okay, you don't need to be subsidized, Jesus Christ. 112,000. Fair enough. Yeah. The trade unions just never really stood much of a chance, did they? This never really stood much of a chance. Electronics industry, yeah. Part of the problem, I think, is still trying to even have enough electricity. What percentage of the population's capital is now? Not as many as it used to be. 3.5%. Like, it's dropped dramatically because since 1958, we have doubled our population. Like, that's the problem. I unfortunately went too far back with, like, racial seg. I need to stay on cultural exclusion to keep my additional construction sectors in our Chinese colonies working. Tianjin has 45 rare earth mines. Oh my god. I thought I had one that had something absurd like this, and I forgot about it. Feels bad, man. Oof. So it was Tianjin that had it. Because, yeah, like, they can't really work here. Which is unfortunate. The extortion was a good while lasted, yeah. And, like, I'm trying to get it back, honestly. It's kind of sad that the mod isn't really like truly fully updated to this patch yet, and I hope in the nearish future it will be, because you know with all the companies not really using these resources, it kind of hurts. Uyghuristan, yeah, the Russians and the Chinese fought. We fought the Indians. Millions died. My standard of living continues to plummet. Okay, it's not even worth trying to build in Tianjin. There are companies. Yes, Dusty, there are some companies. There are some. Not, unfortunately, all, or even I would say a lot. There are slim few. I would in fact say. There are slim few that use it. Any plans for next round after this? No, not yet. But like I said, I think it's probably a good sort of time to wrap it up. We did all right. I definitely made a couple of mistakes in the later part of the game. Our standard of living just kind of went to the shitter. Our literacy's dropped off, although we now have fit 200 million people into the Netherlands, so that happened. I don't think that was a good thing, but that happened. Yeah. Save game thing, yeah. It's very possible it's somewhat tied to the save game. It's really interesting to kind of watch Western Europe basically depopulate. You know? And really struggle like this. Economic recession, but pop growth. Yes, but not really pop growth either. We just took in a fuckload of immigrants is what happened. You know? That's all. The Han haven't even started to assimilate yet. Yeah, they have to get to, I think, -5 to assimilate under our current law. But yeah. What the fuck is happening in Germany? 21st century economics and the Western nations struggle to maintain their birth rates. As things like literacy and standard of living climb. A lot of countries simply can't. Especially in comparison to like Russia, who, you know, by simply not modernizing at all, can maintain its birth rate. So, but yeah. All right. I'm going to wrap it up here today, folks. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I've been Revolutionary Calvin, and I will see you guys next time. Take care, folks. Have a good night.